So, hello there everyone and welcome, it is Anirin here, and today it is time for me to bring you a brand new mini-series on this channel, because today I'm going to be starting off my FIFA 19 ratings predictions series, and I did this back in the day a couple of years ago, where basically we go through some of the Premier League sides and the biggest sides in Europe and the world, and take a look at what EA should make the ratings of the players in those squads, and look ahead basically to what they could be on FIFA 19, and on top of that I'm going to be giving you their potential prediction as well. So I'm going to be predicting what their potentials are going to be in FIFA 19 career mode on top of their overall ratings. Now if you go on to enjoy the video, then slap a like on it, and if you're excited to see the rest of this series, subscribe. It's the big red button under the video, and of course if you've got any objections to ratings that I give in this video, then drop your suggestions down in the comment section for alterations, you know, but be nice about it because sometimes it causes arguments. Anyway, Manchester City are the team we're focusing on today because they won the Premier League, and we're going to get straight into proceedings, and we're going to start off obviously with their main goalkeeper, Ederson, the Brazilian, who obviously came in to join Manchester City at the start of the season, was 83 rated at the start of FIFA 18. I have given him a new overall rating of 85, because I think he deserves it. I think his distribution and shot stopping is one of the best in the league. I don't think he's obviously the best goalkeeper in the league. In my opinion, that is David De Gea, even as a Liverpool fan. Probably followed by Thibaut Courtois. In my opinion, I think Ederson is second, and his distribution is by far the best in the league, so I hope he gets a significant increase on his long passing. Obviously, he's still quite young as well, so I've given him a potential to grow by 4, especially when he's a goalkeeper as well, who obviously tend to peak a little bit later on in their careers. I have given him a potential in terms of prediction of 89, and obviously the difference in overall means that is a boost of +2 from the start of FIFA 18. Now, moving on to the right back, and we've got Kyle Walker here. Now, first of all, I would like to obviously suggest that he's going to be able to play as a centre-back as well as a right-back, although I do think his strength still lies as a full-back predominantly. I think Kyle Walker has been really solid, made a couple of mistakes at the World Cup, looked a little bit hesitant in possession. Obviously, defenders aren't natural, you know, gifted players in possession, but he seemed okay at playing the ball out from the back. He was 83 at the start of FIFA 18. I have boosted him by 1 to 84. I don't think he's world-class. I don't think there's really any full-backs in the world that are particularly world-class right now, but I think he's well up there as one of the better right-backs in the world. So 84 I feel is quite fair, and that's obviously an upgrade of +1. Moving on to the centre-backs now. First of all, we've got John Stones. In my opinion, this guy has really started to come of age this season. He looked very shaky in the season, having signed from Everton to Manchester City for like £50 million, but this year he's proved me wrong. I can't lie to you. I thought he was going to be a horrendous signing and a waste of money. People have showed some patience with him, and he's been very good. So he was 79 at the start of FIFA 18. I have boosted him by 3 to 82. He's still by no means the finished package, but I think he is deserving of being firmly now into the 80 ratings, and he was also probably the most solid centre-back at the World Cup, maybe barring Harry Maguire. I think Maguire and Stones were certainly the best, and a potential in terms of prediction for him of 86. His centre-back partner predominantly throughout the season has been Nicolas Otamendi. He was 83 at the start of FIFA 18 and actually got boosted to 85. I have left him there because I think it's a fair rating of him in comparison to other centre-backs like Raphael Varane, who's also 85. I don't think Varane is so much better than Otamendi, and if I was to predict Varane's rating, it would be something more like 87. But I genuinely believe Otamendi is deserving of a rating around about 85. And moving on to the left back, and a very makeshift one, we have Fabian Delph here, who was 77 and a centre mid at the start of the year. This guy was definitely an unsung hero, having to come in and replace the injured Danilo and Benjamin Mendy. This guy was really solid out of position, crucially as well. So I boosted him from 77 to 81. I think he's actually fully deserving of being in the 80s. At the very worst, he deserves to be 80, but playing out of position as a left back, he has been very solid. And I think he's a decent enough centre mid as well. I think he's certainly deserving of being in the 80s, and obviously that is a growth of +4. His age being 27 means that I don't think he's going to grow particularly, or 28 I think it might be actually. So I've left his potential at 81. Moving on to the juicy part though now, we've got Kevin De Bruyne, and what an unbelievable season this guy has had. It's ridiculous. This guy literally oozes class. It should be illegal, quite frankly. I didn't have the best of World Cups, if I'm going to be brutally honest with you, but he was unbelievable across the season for Manchester City. He started off at 89 and was boosted to 91 by EA. That is unbelievable. That's like top 5 on the game, isn't it? 91, I swear. It's ridiculous. It's an unbelievable overall. I have left him at that, but it obviously means it's a +2 upgrade from the start of FIFA 18, and then I've given him the potential to grow by a further 1 in career mode to 92. Ilkay Gundogan is next up, and if I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys, I haven't seen all that much much of Ilkay Gundogan, so I've had to base this one a lot off some stats. He's had good pass accuracy and has seemed like a very decent player, but a lack of assists as a central midfielder would mean that I probably wouldn't upgrade him by a huge amount. I know some people will be calling for him to be upgraded, so I have given him a +1 from 85 to 86. And I know I think he was 86 at one point on career mode anyway, so I know that's something that EA might toy with. And then obviously the potential to stay the same at 86. He's either going to stay the same at 85 or go up by 1, realistically, in my opinion, to 86. The final at centre mids is David Silva. He started FIFA 18 at 87, criminally underrated in my opinion. I know a lot of people look at stats and look at how good a player is on FIFA when they actually use them, but David Silva is actually a very, very good player, and for that reason, EA boosted him up to 89. I'm going to leave him as at the rating that he got in his winter upgrade at 89, and obviously the potential to stay there because he's in his 30s now. 9 goals, 11 assists, and 65 chances created for him this season, so he has been very, very good. On to the forwards though now, and Leroy Sané, the PFA Young Player of the Year. Where do we even begin with this kid? What a season he has had. Unfortunately left out of the German national team, but he was absolutely unreal in the Premier League. He had an overall of 82 as a Ultimate Team card at the start of FIFA 18 and was boosted to 84. I have boosted him by a further 1 to 85 as a starting overall, and then with a potential to grow by a further 7 to his current potential on FIFA 18, which is 92. So that's +3 overall from the start of FIFA 18 for the PFA Young Player of the Year. 12 goals, 17 assists, and 57 chances created. On to Sergio Aguero now, who obviously managed to grab a Team of the Season card like quite a lot of his teammates. He was 89 at the start of FIFA, and if I'm honest with you, Sergio Aguero, in my mind, has always deserved to be a 90 rated player, and I don't quite understand how he's not achieved it on a more regular basis. So I have boosted him by +1 to 90. Obviously, he was having injury issues at the start of the season. There was talk of a fallout between himself and Pep Guardiola, hence Gabriel Jesus getting quite a lot of time out on the pitch. But when he did return, he was his usual Sergio Aguero self. Like, he was absolutely insane. To say he missed so much of the season, his goal scoring record is absolutely insane, hence he got that Team of the Season. So, and on to Raheem Sterling. This was a difficult one because his current overall on career mode is 85, but his current Ultimate Team rating is 84. He got that as a winter upgrade from the 82 he was at the start to FIFA. And I was really, this was a very difficult decision as to whether to go with 84 or 85. He's had an unbelievable season for City. There is absolutely no doubting that. But the World Cup really highlighted, I don't know whether it was to do with pressure, but the World Cup really highlighted some of the weaknesses in his game, which are for sure finishing, which needs a massive nerfing, but also his decision making as well, which really splits apart the really good wingers and the pace merchants and dribble merchants and the ones that require very good players around them. So in my opinion, I can't really, I've not given them the benefit of the doubt, and I've left him at 84. It's still an upgrade of +2 from the start of FIFA 18. He is of course still young, hence I've given him the potential to grow to 87 in career mode. On to the bench players and some of the reserves now. We'll skim through these a little bit quicker. We've got Claudio Bravo first of all from Chile, 82 rated at the start of FIFA 18. Now I've downgraded him by 2 to 80. He's slightly aging as a goalkeeper now, and he's had a really poor couple of seasons at Manchester City. Joe Hart as well, obviously spent the season out on loan to West Ham and had an absolutely abysmal time of things at the Hammers. He obviously will return to Man City, but I assume may well be sold realistically. He was 82 at the start of FIFA 18. I've downgraded him by 4 to 78. His current rating on career mode is 79, so I've downgraded that by a further 1. Moving on to the defenders, and first of all we've got Danilo, who in fairness when he did play was actually pretty solid. I'd like to see him play a bit more as a centre-back. I think he played a little bit better there than actually as a full-back. So he was 78 at the start of FIFA 18. I boosted him by +2 to 80, and then the potential to grow by a further 1. Benjamin Mendy is a very difficult one. I think he's the largest fraud in the entirety of football this season because he's managed to win the Premier League and the World Cup by playing literally 0 minutes of football. But because of that, I can't really give him an upgrade or a downgrade. He hasn't shown particularly that he's been bad or good because he's just been injured the whole time. However, I have downgraded his potential from 87 to 85 just purely because of those injuries, but his overall rating I don't think should change. Aymeric Laporte was 84 at the start of career mode, obviously playing for Bilbao. He has since moved to City. Looked a little bit shaky in a couple of games, but that was mainly because he was playing out of position at left back. He's not a left back, he's a decent centre back, so I left him at 84. Currently on career mode he is 83. I hope he doesn't get downgraded because I don't think he deserves it, but that is just a word of warning. Talking of downgrades though, and this is going to be a controversial one I think, but Vincent Kompany I have downgraded by just 1 from 85 to 84. Now, it's going to seem hypocritical because I was mentioning Benjamin Mendy, how I haven't downgraded him purely because he's been injured, but with him it's slightly different. He has been injured the entire season. We've literally seen him play like 3 games all year, whereas Vincent Kompany's been injured, come back, and hasn't looked as good. It looks like those injuries have genuinely affected him. At the World Cup, he didn't look as good. He doesn't look the same player anymore, so therefore I don't see how he can have the same overall. So I've downgraded him from 85 to 84, and then obviously the potential to stay the same because he's aging. On to Fernandinho, who was obviously 82 at the start of FIFA 18. He himself got a massive winter upgrade from 85, which I think is heavily deserved. One of the most underrated players in the league. He's a very, very solid defensive mid, probably the second best in the league behind N'Golo Kante in my opinion. So I think it's fair enough. I think he needs to work on his discipline sometimes, but generally speaking, very good player. I have left him at 85, which was his winter upgrade. Now, Riyad Mahrez, of course, is a new signing for Manchester City, but he had an unbelievable season still at Leicester. Obviously not as good as the Premier League winning one, but they would have been a lot lower down the table if it wasn't for the Algerian. 83 at the start of FIFA 18. I've upgraded him to 85, so that's +2, and the potential to stay at 85 in career mode because he is around about 27 or 28. He, of course, managed to grab 11 goals and 10 assists, was by far the Fox's shining light, and they would have been a lot lower without him. Another winger, and a very good one as well, is Bernardo Silva, the Portuguese winger, who in my opinion would actually be better as an attacking mid or slightly more central because of his lack of pace. He's still very creative, but a lot of teams like to deploy fast wingers. I don't know, he still works well out there, but he might unlock a bit more as an attacking mid. He was 84 at the start of FIFA 18, but he's been unbelievable this season when he has played for City. Not just based on stats, he has actually been, he's performed well. So I boosted him by +1 to 85, and the potential of 89. On to some of the younger players now. Phil Foden was 65 at the start of FIFA 18, having won the Under-20 World Cup with England. I boosted him by +5 to 70. I know it seems over the top, but you've got to remember this is EA. They love giving over-the-top ratings boosts to English youngsters. Every time. Ryan Sessegnon will be like 76 rated. You know it's going to happen. I think 68 or 69 would be fair for him, but I think he's going to get 70 and then a potential of 86. So Alexander Zinchenko has been deployed as a left-back mostly by Pep Guardiola, or a left wing-back, but he is also, of course, a centre mid or an attacking mid. He was 72 at the start of FIFA 18. I boosted him by a further +1 to 73 because he looks quite solid, even as a wing-back actually. Maybe lacking a little bit in his defensive capabilities or positioning, but that's because he's not naturally a defender. If he can grow into that role, I think he will be very good, and I've given him a potential of 84. And then the final player we're going to look at in this one for Manchester City is, of course, Gabriel Jesus, the Brazilian wonder kid, who was 81 at the start of FIFA 18. I have boosted him by +3 to 84. Now, I could have boosted him by the same, or to the same overall as Leroy Sané, but I think Sané's had a better season overall, and then the potential to grow to 92, like Leroy Sané, who we mentioned a moment ago. But that's going to wrap things up for my ratings predictions for Manchester City on FIFA 19, including overalls and potentials as well. Got any disagreements, then drop them politely down in the comment section below. I'd love to see what you guys think the ratings of some of these guys should be. And if you enjoyed the video, then make sure to like and subscribe here on this channel. You can also follow me on social media these days too. My Twitter handle is @theofficialfng, and my Instagram is exactly the same. Links to both are down below. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
I've been smoking and drinking. Say the weed and the voice got me thinking skeptical. Boy, you better know when I'm under the influence. If I say shit, then I meant it all. Had a flashback when I used to kick ball, and the coach told me I weren't technical. Man, I lost all the air in my lungs, and it's like man took a low blow to the testicles. Now you see the spare time, I invest it all to the music. Dug deep, now I'm seeing improvements. Still forcing the ink on the page, and it feels therapeutic. Yeah.